All right, so upcoming here, we got Bugsnax, which got a few more seconds here to get some donations in to change the color of the main character. But I'm gonna hand it on off to our runner here, so go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Hello, if you weren't here for the last run, my name is KonceptionSR, the Bugsnax console goat of all time. I have a goat on with me.
Yeah, my name is Ness underscore. I've played this game as well and has been indoctrinated as a runner thanks to KonceptionSR. So we tried a bit, and I tried to get through it, but yeah, we reversed the rules. Basically, we're having a little fun here. This is Bugsnax. Bungie, if we got a final color for our journalist here, now is a good time, so I can pick it and we can get started with the run.
Yes, the winning color is orange.
Ooh, orange. Okay, didn't expect that one. Nice. Orange is popular in marathons, I find. People love orange. Okay.
I'm an orange fan.
Yeah. So it starts a little strangely here. It doesn't start when you start the new game. It starts as the game loads in. So I'll try my best to time it out here. And then we'll just get started with Bugsnax. 3, 2, 1, go. That was like perfect. I think that was the best time I've ever counted that down in a marathon setting.
That was so good.
Yeah, nailed it.
So yeah, this is Bugsnax. So the lore of this game, like in short, is you're a journalist, and you're flying into Snacktooth Island, where there's rumors to be bugs that are snacks, and people have been eating them and trying to make a life on this island. It's been pretty cool. You're supposed to get all this information in this like 3-minute intro cutscene, but we're doing this trick called the intro skip.
We're trying to do it.
Yeah, where Conception will jump up onto like the side of this bridge. And in the middle of that bridge, like basically the cutscene starts, and then there's like a couple parts to it, I think. But we're completely skipping that because this is any percent we can do all the skips that we want. And we're going to be doing the second part of it, where we skip doing all of Philbo's quests by jumping over that bush that he's supposed to knock down. And then immediately going into Garden Grove, where we're gonna be doing some like hard cycles, doing some catches. After this little short cutscene with the farmer character Wambus, kind of bullying Philbo, my best boy, my golden retriever, best boy. He gives us the slingshot, and pretty much immediately we're gonna be getting into a lot of like the hard stuff early game for this run. Conception could be lining up a shot with a slingshot there to lead that bunger into the corral, and then he's going to be luring another bunger to that middle part, and he's going to try and get this Frider, which he gets first try, which is phenomenal, underneath the floor, where like if he stands on it, it kind of peeks through and you can get it. Then he gets a Shishka bug. He has a Frider. He gets another bunger, and then he gets that second shish bug, and that's all the quests, and he turns them in all at the same time.
Except I didn't get the second one, unfortunately.
You didn't? Oh.
No, I missed it. But that's okay. The game has a little bit of a safeguard when that happens. Shishka bugs are kind of annoying because you can, once they hide in a bush, you can't get them out again unless you get something like a bunger to charge it or something like that. But that's very hard because we have set the bungers on a cycle to continuously try and get ketchup from that tree, so they're not going to divert their attention long enough for you to go and get the Shishka bug out. Well, luckily enough for us, the game, after you turn in one quest, respawns the Shishka bug you already caught. So it's just sitting back out there. It's slow, wastes about 10 seconds, I'd say, missing that second Shishka bug. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, not too bad. Getting the Frider, that quick Frider catch is the real savior. The alternative there is dropping down, throwing some ketchup on the ground, waiting for the Frider to climb down, and then just letting it come into your trap. Catching it through the floor like that and on a fast cycle saves about, I think it's like 6 seconds, 5 to 6 seconds, something like that.
Yeah,
so it's definitely worth it.
What just happened was after all the quests were turned in, Conceptionist kind of jumps past Filbo to try and get the journal, and then talks to Bevka, who's another character. And she gives you a quick introduction on how the journal works, because there's a lot of information in there. Very happy that there's a tutorial, but also we don't need it. We're speedrunners. We play this game so much, we don't really need it. Immediately after we get into Axberg. Yeah.
I've played this once or twice. So Ness alluded to it a lot in my last Pokemon run at the beginning of this one, when they said that I'm the console goat of this game, goat of all time, of course, which implies that that you can play this game on other platforms, which you can. The primary platform I'd say is PC, but it is on the Epic Game Store, which people are a little bit hit and miss with. I'm playing on the PS5, which I prefer to play on. There are very minimal differences, and in fact, in terms of all the tricks and skips, there are no differences at all. But there are minor optimizations that you can do on PC as opposed to console. If you want to talk a little bit about that while I do some skips here.
Yeah. So the main thing is you can advance text really quickly by assigning the text skip button to scroll wheel like up or down, and you can just go as fast as possible, and then you're like done with the text. It saves a lot of time compared to just mashing like the circle and X buttons on like a PlayStation. This game's only on PS4, PS5, and there's also it's compared to using loadless time as opposed to just real time that console has to use. So it's a bit better in that respect. So you don't have to have like the best new drive, and also completely glossing over the fact that Conception did peak early, I think it's called, where he can jump off of specific angles on like the side of that like wall with the rocks, and just completely skip having to do like 3 extra areas on top of the skip that he did to get into woods early to do like 4 areas. And now he's going to be doing this trick called door skip, where he skips the door by clipping through using the tripwire, and using like the front facing like edge of that to just clip through. People do it in different ways. I personally run to do it, and Conception's apparently never tried to like run, and he did a practice run, and he actually ran and got through first try, which is really funny.
It didn't look like it, but the first attempt I did here, I was running, but it was a short field. I was like 2 steps away from it, but I was running, but then I stepped back and didn't run, and then got through.
Yeah,
so it's all a thing. So that was a lot to explain, and that's because we're now about 95% through the game already. We're actually in the in-game sequence. So basically, to recap what we did, we get to Snaxburg, which is like the intro to the main hub of the world. I did what's called river skip, so I skipped over the river and then up some geometry on the rocks to get into Sugar Pine Woods early, which probably skips about 30% of the game on its own. Then from Sugar Pine Woods, I did Avalanche skip or peak early, depending on what you want to call it, where I skipped into Frosted Peak early, which skips about 90% of the game. And then I clipped through the door, which skips about another 10% of the game. So yeah, we're about 98% of the game, percent through the game now. Not too much to go already. We're getting there.
So there isn't that much that many more skips going on, since after you get in like past the door, you're past the point of no return. The game calls it, which is just you can't go back and do any more quests after you're through here. The game puts you through Bugsnax through the gauntlet, so you can't really go back. But there's one little minor skip that's gonna happen very soon, where Agabel, another character, falls down from the ceiling, talks to her partner, Lisbeth, and comes through, becomes a sushi snake. I can't really even describe what's going on. There's a lot going on here. There's just
there is a lot happening.
Yeah, and if you look in the right place and you mash very fast, sometimes you can talk to her, and it doesn't really do very much, but it's faster, I think.
Yeah, so basically what happens, so Agabel is a character that you can interact in the world normally. If you're playing the game normally, then you would have already talked to her at that point, and therefore you can't talk to her again in the cutscene. However, because I had skipped everything, it had not talked to Agabel at any point. I actually triggered a conversation with her while that loading screen was happening, and it makes it so that for whatever reason, when you trigger a conversation with her, it doesn't crash the game. It actually makes it load faster. I don't know why. It saves about, I think it's like 2 to 3 seconds on loads there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But you can only do it in any percent, because in any other category, you would have talked to Agabel already, and then if you try to do it anyway, it crashes the game.
Yeah, we say literally any category, because this is like the only category you do where you don't talk to Agabel.
Yeah, but so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of lore here. I really suggest everyone play this game. I actually ran a different category of this last Pride event, No Major Skips, which got to showcase a lot more of the lore, but I highly suggest everyone play this game. It has a lot of beautiful LGBTQIA plus representation that you don't see often in games a lot. There are Floofty here, who is on the right and is a non-binary character. We alluded to Lisbeth and Agabel. They are together as well, so they're in a relationship. There are some other LGBTQIA plus relationships. Just a lot of really great representation. Play this game. It's really, really wonderful.
This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I got it on sale for $15 on the Epic Game Store like a few months ago.
Yep, it's on sale often. It's the developers Young Horses, which if you've played like Octodad, they're the same developer. A lot of really good stuff there. Really great people, really good development team. And jumping in now would be a perfect time, because beginning of 2022, they're going to be doing some DLC, the Isle of Bugsnax. So you'll get some extra content there. Free DLC, by the way.
The name Bugsnax is kind of funny, because oftentimes when people typo Bugsnax, it is Bugsnax. So yeah, that's actually a thing.
You gotta wonder if there was a little inspiration there for that. By the way, we are in what's called the Gauntlet in the community. Basically, there's 6 challenges that occur here using tools that you would normally collect through the game, but they're maneuvered in different ways. Usually they're used to trap and capture Bugsnax for like collection purposes. This way, they are used to deflect or defeat Bugsnax. I'm not going to really go in as to why, because that's kind of a story spoiler. But check out the story if you're interested in figuring out why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm not going to be spoiling one of my favorite games. Plus, it's still new enough to where I can still say I don't want to spoil it, and no one to get mad.
Yeah, big shout out though. This just celebrated its 1st anniversary. Came out mid last November. So big shout out to Bugsnax, a game that's changed my life. I'd say it's definitely changed my life. Really, really good. I'm gonna try to go for a trick here. That gets me a little bit closer to the next loading zone if I'm precise enough. Just gotta get wedged. Stay in. All right, cool. If I wedge myself in between those planks of wood there, it gets me all the closer to the next area. Saves me about a second or 2 when I do it that way.
So now we're gonna go into the hardest segment of the run.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about Gauntlet more as a whole / barrels and why it's so frustrating, now's a good time for that.
Yeah. So Gauntlet in general is, I want to say it's not too hard, just because a lot of the tools aren't very hard to use, and a lot of the patterns that they give you aren't very difficult. Though having to use the launch pad is very difficult, because they make you launch these explosive barrels, which, I mean, we've all been there before, but we're trying to get all of the Bugsnax in one go, which is, fast and optimal. But it's very hard because we have to aim in like specific areas, and we have to shoot the barrels at specific times, so we get all of the Bugsnax with one, and we can do that on every cycle except for this last one coming up, where we could do it in 2, and that was clean. Yep, that was perfect. Yeah, it's definitely the most precise. As Ness was just talking about there, it's not only launching them at the right time, it's also launching them at the right precise space. Because it's not just as simple as
making sure, you know, all three spawn. They all have to be spawned close enough together that the barrel's hit radius affects all of them. So basically, you know, whenever there's a wave of three, we try to hit it both precisely and location and time, so that it explodes at a point where all three of them can be defeated. Well, obviously with the exception of that last one, but that went clean. So just it's a little bit more difficult the way we explain it than it is. I think it takes a lot of practice. A lot of runners who are new to the game, they will tell you that is the part they struggle with the most, doing cleanly. They'll be on a really good pace, and then all of a sudden, you know, Barrels messes them up or something. Casually, by the way, not too hard.
Yeah, it's not too hard casually, but it definitely takes a lot longer. Gauntlet as a whole, I don't think is too hard, just because this game in general isn't designed to be a very difficult game. But it's compared to everything else in the Gauntlet, it's a lot harder.
Yep. Yeah. Oops, I skipped a little farther ahead than I meant to there. That's fine.
There's also technically a bad ending in this game. I don't really want to talk too much about it, because it's minor spoilers. Also, we have to watch them talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like usually like we can skip all the text, but I think it's really funny that this is the one where we can't skip everything.
Yeah.
I completely forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about bad ending. Yeah. So basically, what we're doing in the Gauntlet is, you know, there are 6 mini games, basically, for lack of a better term, where there are 2 grumpuses at each game. Basically, if you failed the mini game so spectacularly, they can be taken over by Bugsnax and you know more or less die. It's really hard to do and really slow. It's just like exceptionally slower to do it that way. And also, if you're doing a category like 100% or any category where you have to finish their side quests, it makes them actually invulnerable from dying here if you complete their side quest line. So you can stop it that way. But yeah,
it's a very nice way to for the game to tell you thank you for caring about this character enough to do their quests.
Yeah,
we will keep them alive.
Yeah, we see you're invested. We're not gonna then just kill them off. But yeah, basically, it's unique in the way, you know, a lot of speedruns, bad ending is usually faster because that means you can skip some kind of special qualifier that would turn it into the good ending or the best ending. But in this game, the good ending is by far the fastest, and it's not even close.
Yeah, there's actually something really funny that could happen with getting onto this airship. The game kind of can just jam you into the corner and then keep you there for a while and then teleport you up after it gives up. And we don't really know what causes it. It's kind of just a bit random, but it's really funny. I love getting it because it's really funny to look at, but it does waste a couple seconds maybe.
Yeah, I think it's based off of the angle in which you approach the ramp to get up into the ship. If you cut the angle too hard, when the game forces you onto the boat, it'll actually force you off the ramp, and then you just kind of get stuck trying to walk into the ship from the side as opposed to on the ramp. I don't really know.
Yeah, but time is coming up.
Yeah, time is coming up very soon, by the way.
In the next scene at the end of it, last input, we will definitely count that down and call it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was Bugsnax.
Yeah, we skipped through it really, really fast. Again, there is a lot of wonderful lore here. It's a wonderful story. The gameplay is super satisfying. It's long enough, but not too long. I can't recommend this game enough. Just please play it. And time.
GG. What was your final time?
I got a 17 even on my end. Might have been a 16:59 though.
That was phenomenal. What the heck?
Yeah. So really, really good. Really, really good. Shout outs to the Bugsnax speedrunning community. Wonderful group of people. Everyone there is so great, so wholesome. If you're a new runner, if this run interested you, by the way, any percent really, despite us doing a lot of skips to skip through 98% of the game, very easy to learn. Very easy. You can ask Ness. I taught Ness in a video call a few months ago in, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes. It wasn't too
not
bad.
Even 35 minutes, because I already went into it knowing baseline how to do some of the skips, because the game learning the skips in the game is very straightforward.
Yes.
There isn't a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But just knowing a lot more specific stuff, Conception taught me in maybe 30 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, you can pick it up really easy if that interests you. And even if you're not interested in games with a lot of splits, I highly recommend the no major skips category, which I ran last event, or the 100% category, which is also really fun. You get to
all bosses.
yeah, you get to catch. Well, in 100%, you get to catch every Bugsnax, which there are 100 as of right now before the DLC. But Ness and I, primarily Ness, have put in work on a new category that we're calling all bosses, which is all legendary Bugsnax, which is we fight the 4 legendary Bugsnax and we get the fun of doing a bunch of skips without a bunch of cutscenes, which is really nice. So yeah, just go to speedrun.com/Bugsnax, join our Discord, and we'll be glad to get you set up with resources. Also like to shout out the show that I run on the GQ channel. Hotfix is called Awfully Silly. So if you happen to be somebody who speedruns an awful or silly game, or you are somebody who enjoys watching those runs, come on by every other Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time and catch Awfully Silly, where we get to feature those kinds of runs. I'll be on I'm the host of that show. So there's a lot of really interesting games that we feature on there, so it should be fun. Also,
we'll say interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you to Ness _ for commentary on both games. Amazing stuff. And thank you to the Power Up with Pride team for having me on for this event for 2 runs. My own midnight conception block is really, really good. So I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who's donated and everyone who's worked behind the scenes. Anything to plug for you, Ness?
Follow twitch.tv/KonceptionSR. This fella is so good at so many different games. This dude is entertaining. This dude is phenomenal. Just drop a follow, please. I'm begging you.
I will say I'm eight followers away from 600, so that'd be nice to hit before the end of the year. And follow Ness. Yeah, follow Ness _ twitch.tv/Ness _ or alternatively dolegaming.info. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for the run. Definitely a far different pace from Pokemon. And thank you for the $10 donation, Slamphibian, which put us to the orange character for Bugsnax. So thank you very much for that. Coming up next here, we have Pump It Up XX 20th Anniversary Edition. Really excited for that one. And I will also be handing off hosting duties to Freyas again. So give them a big welcome and thank you all for having me. And thank you for donating to the Treasure Project. Really appreciate it, guys. And I will hope to see you all around for the rest of the marathon going all the rest of the day.